Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I am live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we explore the principles that equip you to thrive in change. And we're talking about all manner of change, the change that you wanted, the change that you didn't want, the big changes, the little changes. We can thrive in the midst of all of them when we know some basic principles, and I welcome you to learn these principles, grow in these principles, and share with other people here on Sunday Night Live who also value being resilient, being able to respond well in change, having principles that help everybody make better decisions. So you're with good people here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for popping on. And if you are new to Sunday Night Live, by all means, drop your name in the comments, say hi, give us a wave, let us know where you are from because we absolutely want to know, and we can't if you don't tell us. So those of you who've maybe been watching from, the background, I invite you step into the light. We love to welcome new people to participate in our conversations here, and it makes them stronger. So, with that, hey, Philip, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. So tonight we're going to be talking about Thrive Principle. Here we go. Hashtag trust the process. Tonight we are talking about how to get what we want. We want more. We want more. That's the change we say we want. I want more, fill in the blank. If you want that kind of change, if you want more in your life, we are going to explore that. There is a process to follow. It is simple. It's not always easy, but who said they wanted life to be easy, right? We're getting stronger. We love a challenge. So that's what we're going to explore tonight, the process that we can follow when we want more. Who's with me? Woo-hoo. All right. I also want to give a shout out to Thumb Roast Coffee. They sponsor Sunday Night Live, and the owner of Thumb Roast Coffee believes the principles that we teach here, and she uses them in her business, which is amazing. I am so honored that she values what we do here enough to share it with her team, but also to sponsor it so that we can share it with more people. If you love great coffee and you love great people, check out thumbroastcoffee.com and you can actually order coffee online, have it sent to someone you love, including yourself. Hint, hint. And you can get 15% off. All you have to do is use the coupon code THRIVE, THRIVE, BAM. 15% comes off of your checkout, which is pretty awesome. I encourage you to go thumbroastcoffee.com. We are in the middle of pumpkin spice season. I just had an event at my house with our live stream leadership people, met face to face. It was awesome. And we had thumb roast pumpkin spice. Oh my word, it was so good. All right, so I encourage you, check out thumbroastcoffee.com, order some delicious coffee, use the coupon code THRIVE. You will be so impressed with what you get. I promise. I promise. All right, with that, we are going to jump back in. So, we're talking tonight about capacity. Capacity. Many years ago now, when our children were little, my sister and I would go Christmas shopping the day after Thanksgiving. Anybody else do that? Back in the day, before you could order a lot of things online, and Amazon Prime was a huge deal, before any of that, they used to send print out advertisements, and the paper would be about this thick, the newspaper, and we would go buy the newspaper and pour over the newspaper and find all of the really great deals that the stores were having the day after Thanksgiving, so we could go and get the biggest bang for our buck when it came to Christmas shopping for our kids. So we used to do this religiously. And the first time we did it, we went to a toy store at 5 a.m. It opened at 5 a.m. We stood in line for the doors to open, and we went to Toys R Us. They're defunct now. I'm going to shed a little tear. I have such fond memories of Toys R Us. We went to Toys R Us. We've got our advertisements in hand. We had everything circled that we wanted to get, and then we were going to scoot out of there and get to our next store. Well, it was chaos. I don't know if you've ever been to a place at that time, the day after Thanksgiving, 5 a.m. I don't know if you ever did that, but it is not for the faint of heart. It was chaotic. It was crowded. And everybody in line before us snatched up the carts. We got a cart. We got a cart at the tail end. The problem is that all these people pushing carts, they couldn't get through the aisles. It was very crowded and it was slowing everything down. And we were so frustrated. So we finally couldn't even move with the carts. So we just had to abandon our cart and try to weave our way through the crowd and try to snatch up whatever good toy deals we thought we were, had to have for our kids. And we could only get as much as we could carry. And then we had to decide, okay, now what? Because we've only got this much and we had a list that was this long. We didn't have the capacity to get all the good deals, you guys. We had to leave really good deals there. We got up early, we were ready. We knew what we wanted, but we didn't have the capacity to get it. So, fast forward a year. It's time. We're getting ready. My sister and I, we're planning our strategy. We're going to go shop and hit those toy stores first thing so we can snag all those great toy deals that they had, those loss leaders that they used to get you in. But this time, we developed a plan to expand our capacity. Have you ever bought those heavy duty trash bags that the contractors use to throw out old 2x4s and nails and things that are kind of pointy and sharp? Those babies are thick. Raise your hand if you've got thumbs up, or maybe drop a comment if you've ever used those contractor bags, really thick. They sell them at the home improvement stores. Home Depot has them, Lowe's. So my sister and I developed a plan. We needed to expand our capacity. We knew it wasn't going to work with a cart. It was too crowded. We couldn't hold enough. And you can't put things in your pockets because it looks like you're stealing. Philip knows. So we got those heavy duty contractor bags. And when we got in the toy store, we whipped out one of those contractor bags and we used that almost like Santa's toy sack. And anything we wanted to buy, we put in that bag. And so we could lift it up and over if we needed to. If we needed, we could drag it on the floor because it was thick. It wasn't going to damage anything. And then when we got up to the counter or to the checkout, all we had to do was pop that bag up there. and we just were in and out in no time. We didn't get stuck. We got everything we wanted. Why? Because we expanded our capacity. It matters. If you're wanting to go and snag all the great toy deals, it was worth some effort for us to put some thought into, okay, how are we going to make it to where we can carry more? Makes sense, right? Denise, I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see your face. Sort of. It's definitely great to have you here live. I'm so glad you're here. So we're talking about capacity. When there's something we really care about, it's worth it to expand our capacity. I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about expanding our capacity to change, because that's what we dive into here, our capacity to change. I'm going to give you a nice little phrase that helps us remember what we need to focus on when we're expanding our capacity. And I'm also going to talk about 3 specific areas that you can focus on to expand your capacity to change. And our capacity to change is actually called resilience. When you have a high capacity to change, you're resilient. We are going to learn how to build up our resilience so that we can thrive in the midst of change, because that's what we do here. The good news is these little formulas, if you will, they apply to so much in life. So this isn't going to be just one of those Hashtag trust the process lessons that is real specific and tuned in. No, this is good stuff and it's broad. You are going to love it. It's specific, but it applies to a lot. Hi, Corey. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so let's go. These are 3 words. And if you've got a pen and paper, I would love for you to write these down. And that includes you, Samantha. Hi. I'd like you to write these down. These are the words: have, do, be. Have, I have something. Do, I'll do something. And then be, I'll be something. And then I want you just to draw a line through that. Have, do, be is backwards, but it's the way so many people approach life and approach change. They tell themselves this, if I only had $1 million, I'd be able to do everything I want to do and I could be happy. Have you met anybody like that? If I had more hours in my day, I'd be able to do that volunteer work that I say is so important. And then I would be relevant and helpful and generous. And people get focused on the have. I need to have something. How many times have people that you may have known, or maybe you've done it yourself, thought, I don't have the money to do what I need to do? I'm here to tell you that is not true. It is never true. You may not have the money to do everything you want to do, your big dream, but you have all the money you need to do everything you need to do right now. Usually, it has nothing to do with money, because this, my friend, this is the truth. We don't have things and then do stuff to become the people we want to be. Write this down. We have to be the people who can do the right things that allow us to have what we say we want. Be, do, have. If you are wondering where to start in pursuit of your dream, in pursuit of that education that you want, in pursuit of that job you want, in pursuit of anything that you want, you have to be the person before you can do the right things to have what you say you want. You have to expand your capacity. You've read the stories, the horror stories about people who win the lottery. They win the lottery, they get millions and millions of dollars, and so many of them, a high percentage, way more than half, most people who win the lottery, it does not help them, it hurts them. They end up going bankrupt. Their families end up broken. They end up with addictions. They end up with too many things, but nowhere to put them. They've got it backwards. They've got it backwards. They thought if they had all that money, it would allow them to do things that would allow them to be happy. But it's not like that. We have to be the people who can do the right things to have what we want. My husband and I have a dream. We want to be philanthropists. We have a dream. We want to be able to use finances in meaningful, productive ways that change people's life and allow them to leave legacies. We want to do life-changing, helpful things for people, and we want to use money to do that. Here's the thing. We're not looking to win the lottery to do that. Because we know that just having money doesn't make you good at using it well, at being a steward. This is where we're focusing our attention. We want to be good financial stewards. Are you seeing where I'm going? If you want more money, hear me here. Hear this. If the change you seek in your life is that you have more money, then you need to not strive so hard to have more money. looking for ways to get more money, your first order of business is to be the person who can deal with and handle money well. Mic drop, right? Bam! It's the truth. When we focus on becoming the person who can fulfill the purpose that we have, we open up so much opportunity for more, for us to do more, to be more, to do more, and then we have more. Be, do, have. Focus on who you want to be so that you can do the right thing, so that you can have what you say you want. So, what do you guys think about that? Does that surprise you at all? Have you ever thought of it that way? I'm curious. I'm curious if this is a new concept or if this is maybe something that you've thought about before. Here's the thing that I know about the be, do, have equation. We are not going to automatically expand our capacity. It doesn't just happen. If we don't intentionally expand our capacity, we get stiff, we get slow, we get brittle. We actually begin to resist change, even good change. Expanding our capacity to change allows us to be able to do the things that bring positive change into our lives, which then make it possible for us to have and keep the things we say we want. Does that make sense? Are you hearing me? All right. So our capacity doesn't necessarily equate to getting more toys at the toy sale, right? But I mean, it applies. We could only carry so much. If you want more, you're going to have to expand more. There is a fantastic example of this, a story told in the Bible about a widow woman who had a room prepared in her home so that when the minister, the prophet came through town, he could stay there. And she was on her last legs. She did not have resources. She didn't even have food. She said, we're gonna, this is it. I'm gonna make you a cake and we are done. I'll make you some bread and then it's over. And he says, oh, wait a second. She had become a person who was ready for something good to happen. She had set the stage. Welcome, goodness. Welcome. When she invited that man to stay in her home and said, you can stay here and I will feed you, she demonstrated that she was the kind of person who could deal and handle what she needed, what she wanted to have. And the man told her this, you start collecting some pots because we're getting ready to see a miracle here. And we are going to pour oil and pour oil and pour oil till you run out of containers. And she immediately began expanding her capacity. She didn't just go get a little butter tub left over from Thanksgiving and put it on the table and say, all right, if you say I'm going to get a whole bunch of oil, if there's going to be a miracle, I want you to fill that butter tub with oil. Oh, no, no, no. She scrounged. She went to neighbors. She found as many containers as she could because she wanted to expand her capacity for good things, for that blessing, for that wonderful thing that was going to happen to her. She intentionally expanded her capacity. She went outside of her comfort zone. I hope you're hearing me here, you guys. She went outside of her comfort zone. She had to go ask people, can I borrow a jug? Can I borrow some of your, can I borrow a barrel? Can I borrow a contractor's bag? Whatever you got. She had become the person. She was the person. Her be allowed her to do the things she needed to do to have that wonderful goodness actually come to pass in her life. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. Missy says this: when you started coaching me, I have coached Missy. I am Missy's coach. Coach me, you brought this idea up, and I've been working on this for a while. This process has helped me in every area of my life. Oh, I'm so glad, Missy. Still in process, but that means I'll get there. It never ends, Missy. That's the beautiful thing. It is a process that continues to refine us because we continue to become more, and then we can do more, and then we can have more, and then to be stewards of that, it's amazing. And we go, oh, but I could do more, I can become more. That beautiful cycle of capacity is incredible, so it doesn't end. Oh, Carol calls this the treasure principle. Your leadership class on Saturday morning, live stream leadership, you guys, taught us to apply so many principles to every part of our life. That is why I love principles. If there's one thing I value, it is principles, things that apply in multiple areas of our lives, right? Okay, so Carol says this: it's helped me to make numerous changes in my life, not to handle finances better, but to be better people in every area. So thankful for the growth and the input you give as leadership leader and coach. It is my delight to do it. I love sharing these kind of principles because I know, you guys, how much better my life has been because of it. And one last comment from Missy before we move on. She says, I learned so many lessons about the person I've been, so I could then choose to change into what I want, instead of what's been. Right? That capacity to change takes effort, time, and patience, but my life is better daily because of it. Focusing on who I want and need to be. When the focus is on who we need to be, we then are set up to do the things we need to do, and it automatically brings us what we want to have. It is beautiful, you guys. So I promised that I would tell you 3 areas where you can expand your capacity that are going to allow you to thrive and change. And the first one is this: number one, be grateful. Be grateful. Wait a second, Shannon. I can hear some of you thinking this. Wait a second, Shannon. What do you mean be grateful? Um, I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to just sit on what I've already got. There's a difference between being grateful for something and being complacent about it. We can be content, but that doesn't mean we're complacent. Being grateful doesn't mean that we don't want more. It means we appreciate what we have, and here's the key, we also appreciate our ability and our desire to be more. We were created to grow and expand. God breathed the breath of life in us. And he said, I made man, God said, in my own image. God is constantly expanding, showing us his abundance, showing us that's how he's designed us to grow, to expand, to live in abundance. And we're not just talking finances here. Some people want abundant love. Some people want to expand their capacity to give love. Some people want to expand their capacity to receive love. There are so many ways that we can use these principles to get abundance in areas in our life, but it always starts with us becoming, like Missy said, becoming better daily, focusing on who I want and need to be. It's intentional. We do not just accidentally expand our capacity. So, the first way we do, I'm coming back to it, you guys, be grateful. Having an attitude of gratitude is the kind of person that I want to be. I want to be a grateful person. When I am grateful, it opens up so much delight and love and joy in our lives. It unlocks our ability to connect with people, it unlocks our ability to be creative. Grateful people grow. Grateful people grow. Be grateful. When you are grateful, it allows you to begin to thrive in change because it doesn't, when we're grateful, we're not stuck in resenting the change we don't want, right? I could have just as easily, and we're going to bring it in, the hashtag find the beauty, you guys. Hashtag find the beauty. We can be grateful even when circumstances are hard because we also know that there are good things that are happening at the same time. And it doesn't mean that we can't be sad. It doesn't mean that we can't be frustrated, but we can be grateful for what's good in the midst of it. When we cultivate that attitude of gratitude, when we are a grateful person, that is the first step into becoming good at dealing with change, being grateful for what's been, being grateful for what is happening right now, and being grateful for what could be. Cultivate gratitude. All right, the next thing is this. Number one is be grateful. Number 2, believe there is good for you no matter what circumstance you're currently in. This is called hope. Be hopeful. Be hopeful. You were created with a purpose. You have gifts and talents and abilities that make you unique from every other person, not just in the world today, but from the beginning of time. You are unique and special. There is good for you in your future, and you can have good things in your future. Be hopeful. Believe that there is something good that awaits you. I've shared many times my core values and my core beliefs. And my number one core belief is that God created people, created each individual as a person of value and worth. People are valuable. You are valuable. And you've got something unique to share. You've got something good. And that means no matter what circumstance you're in right now, there is hope for you. There is hope. There is something good that waits for you. And you can walk toward it if you are willing to change, right? We have to, if we want to thrive and change, we have to understand that no matter how good it felt right now, there must be something better ahead. We have hope, possibilities, right? All right. And number 3 is this. So number 1 was be grateful. Number 2 is believe that there is good for you. You have a future. You have a future, and it's a good one. Have hope. Believe it. Choose to believe it. Expand your capacity to believe and have hope for the future. And then the third thing is this: see opportunity. Expand your ability to see opportunity. This is hard for some people. I know it is. I know it's hard. I worked with people. Some of my clients are this way, and we work on this. You can train yourself and expand your capacity to see opportunity where everybody else sees nothing but negative. You can choose. This is what I know. I know that no matter how dark a situation is, no matter how dark, there is also light that comes along with it. There's always bad and good. There's always negative and positive. There's always hard and terrible and opportunity, and maybe that'll work. Those things go hand in hand. And we fool ourselves if we think that by only focusing on the negative, identifying all the reasons why something can't work, identifying all the reasons why we could never, why we've got too many hurdles, why we'll never be able to do it. We can focus on those things, but I'm here to tell you that's only half of the truth. The other half of the truth is you have gifts, talents, abilities, and resources that you can use to offset these negatives. We get what we look for. You get what you look for. Expand your capacity to look for the good. Expand the capacity to look for the good. It takes practice, stretching. It's not always welcomed. It's not always what other people want. But I'll tell you this, the people who see the negative are a dime a dozen. The people who see why it won't work, there's a million of them. The people who say it can never happen, you'll trip all over them. The people who train themselves to acknowledge challenges, but look for the opportunity in the midst of them, those people like you, are unique. They are like gems. When employers find those people, when volunteer groups find those people, when our families find that gem who says, oh yeah, Aunt so-and-so is always so positive. She's always encouraging me. She always sees the way that we can maybe make things better, how I can get what I need. Be that person, exercise that, train yourself. Because when you are that person, be that grateful person who sees opportunity, who believes that there is good for yourself and for others. When you have those three components, you will expand your capacity to do the things that really make a difference and have those things that you say you want. Carol says, I keep stretching my rubber band in plain sight. Yes, we had an exercise. This has been a couple years ago now. We had a virtual training, and we used heavy duty rubber bands. And each participant, I sent them a rubber band. And it is amazing what a great reminder it is to be resilient, When we're stretched, we're valuable. It's such a great reminder to keep learning. So I'm going to ask you this question, and we're wrapping up now. Where do you need to expand your capacity? What is it that you want? What is it that you want? And then who do you need to be to have it? Who do you need to be to have what you want? Focus on who you need to be. Who do you need to be to have that change that you say you want? Who do you need to be to get that degree that you've been saying you were going to earn? Who do you need to be to attract a spouse, if that's what you're looking for? Who do you need to be able to earn and steward large sums of money? Who do you need to be if you want to fill in the blank? Focus on those qualities. Hashtag bring the honor. When you focus on being, from that being, you will see what doing you need to do. And when you do those things, you will have what you want, and you will not lose it. You will not go bankrupt like the lottery winners. I'll close with this story. One of my grandchildren had a cup, and she wanted me to pour juice in the cup. This is Ellie. She's holding this cup. She said, I want some juice. Okay, so I pour some juice, and she looks at it and she goes, more. I pour a little bit more. More, she says. More. Well, this was the problem, you guys. Her cup's like this big. And it was getting really, really full. More, more, more. Sometimes we're like that toddler. I'm looking at her going, I can't put any more in, honey. That's all I can fit in your cup. More? Well, if I gave her more, what would happen? It spills over. It gets wasted. It creates a mess. The solution when we want more is not to just keep pouring. Can't keep pouring the juice in that little cup. The solution is get a bigger cup. Become a bigger person. And you will do the things that you need to do to have what you say you want to have. And it will be a blessing to you and not a curse. It will be a blessing and not a curse. Continue to work on your capacity, you guys. It is worth it. Be grateful, and be grateful in all things, and practice that. And then practice believing good for yourself. When you get ready to beat yourself up and say, oh, I could never do that, or that's, I'm never that lucky. No, zip that. Lean into really understanding and believing that you have hope and a future and good. And when you start looking for that, you are going to start seeing opportunities for that to happen. I'm going to close with this. If you wonder how to expand your capacity to be grateful, to believe in good, and to see opportunity, I've got some things for you to think about. We get to choose our thoughts. Thoughts are things. Choose to think on these things. Go ahead and make a list. Think about things that are true. Focus on that. Focus on truth. Where our focus goes, our energy flows. When we focus on truth, we get more truth in our life. Focus on things that are honorable. Where do you see good things happening? People doing the right thing. Focus on that. I'm here to tell you the news isn't sharing that with you, all right? So you're going to have to expand your capacity to find people doing honorable things in a way that doesn't include watching the news. What about things that are right? When you see that something that's right, lean into that. Focus on that. Things that are pure, things that are lovely, things that are admirable, excellent, praiseworthy. Think on those things. I know some of you are smiling. You know exactly where that comes from. Yeah, that is a beautiful recommendation from the Bible that tells us this is how we have a peaceful, productive, good life. Think about things that are true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, praiseworthy. Think on those things. Be that person. And when you do that, that transforms you, your capacity expands. You're able to do the things that need to be done to have the things that you say you want, and you get to keep them and steward them instead of squander them because you have expanded your capacity to change. All right, you guys, I love you. This was great. Thank you for jumping in, for leaning in. Share some of what you've learned by maybe applying some of these principles, and don't give up. Keep the faith. There's good for you in your future, and as you become the person that can deal with the good, who believes you deserve the good, that you're worthy because you're a child of God, when you start to see that, things start to change, transform, and your capacity to change for good exponentially grows. Okay, with that, I love you. Have a great night. Corey says, thank you for sharing this message. I thought of a couple people that I'm going to share this with. Yay! Thanks, Corey. Yes, if you know somebody who needs to hear this, spread the word. Share, just hit share and send it to them and tag them. I love that idea, and I'm glad that it was helpful. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.